Call this meeting to order, Griggs County Commission at 2:30, March 26, 2019. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You guys pay a little more attention when you print stuff.
I know.
Don't pet the Wolverine though.
What?
Roll call, John,
Here.
Dale, Mark,
Here.
Sean,
Here.
Troy's here. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Just the date.
Yes,
Oh, for Pete's camera.
that's what I told you. That's what I
Oh.
said that. It's not the 22nd today. It's not March either.
No.
That's not March either.
Got the year right.
Any additions or corrections to the agenda other than the dates?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Mark to approve the agenda. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Seconded by Sean. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We've all had a chance to take a look at the minutes from April 5th.
Maybe on page 3. Third paragraph. The Griggs County Museum would like to purchase the county property that is down at the fairgrounds location. It probably should just be at the fairgrounds location.
Okay.
On the bottom of page 3 for Tax Director Lundy to discuss payroll and discussion on being salaried and then end it there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Yeah, the second paragraph, page 4, there was discussion on the weed officer, and if the county has the option of doing away with the weed officer position, no determination was made.
Yeah, was somebody supposed to do that?
I had Jamie look into it, and what we came up with is through Century Code we need one.
What? Where in the century code?
It was
Yes, court.
um,
Oh,
Let me grab it here.
It's in 63, but I don't know.
It's all repealed.
That's why I couldn't find it.
For 4.147-11, and it goes till -13. I said that you had said that it was repealed, but he said nope, he found it. So
It's where?
4.1 under agriculture.
yeah, 4.147-11, and then
No,
it's
just weed control.
till 13. So he was gonna do some checking on. If he could find somebody that would be willing to do that.
Weed control officer.
I thought I heard Jamie out there.
Did you want me to put anything after that? No.
I see where we have to have a county weed board. I still haven't seen the. It says we may employ and compensate additional personnel. Duties, here we go. Yep, 8. Okay. 4.14709. 8A, employ and provide for compensation of a weed control officer.
So I found that, and then I talked to Jamie, and he said since it says shall, his
Yeah.
advice is that it means that we have to.
What does their job all entail? They do.
Collect
Yeah.
field complaints. It's not much.
You gotta read 4.147 in the,
Is that the job description?
there's just everything about the weed board and the weed board officer is in that section. 4.14701 through 33. I didn't find it. It's under the agriculture statute, and it used to be, weeds used to be on their own. And I looked in there, and they're all, every chapter in there's been repealed. And then I went to counties, and I couldn't find it. I didn't go to agriculture. I should have thought of that, but.
So the duties are to cooperate with the board and be responsible for the operation and enforcement of this chapter within the county. Become acquainted with the location of noxious weeds within the county. meet the pesticide certification requirements set forth in chapter 4.133, encourage noxious weed control by all landowners and occupants within the county, investigate all signed complaints, post and publish in the official newspaper of the county any notices the commissioner deems necessary to further noxious weed control, prepare reports as requested by the commissioner, and attend meetings held by the commissioner.
Kind of jumped ahead on the agenda here.
Further noxious weed control. No, we did, but we were doing to see what we had to put in the meeting minutes.
We don't have to put anything in last meeting minutes because we didn't know the answer. Now we do,
No,
but
we do.
we can put it in the future minutes. Is there any other changes to the minutes?
I'll move to approve the April 5th.
Is there a second to the motion?
Amended.
We had amended.
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Bills.
There's just one that needs to get added, if we can, please. It's the Verizon bill for $332.47 for the sheriff's office.
Okay. I didn't see anything else out of the ordinary other than the coroner. But I suppose that was all one deal, or what? Oh,
There's,
20 calls?
the Griggs, on page 6, if you look at there, there's one for Griggs County. It's for the new courthouse tax increase. That's that Bank of North Dakota. They sent it in the mail, and somehow it did not get to us.
Oh, the bond payment?
Yep, and
Or-
so they called, and so we got it emailed to us, and we got it ACH to them, and so we're just paying Griggs County back for this now, so that we didn't get any late payments and stuff. So that's.
They didn't foreclose.
I didn't get any calls from Moody's or anybody. Or,
You probably would have if I would have said, well,
No
it's.
such luck, we're taking it away from you, gotta move out.
who was it? Yeah, we gave away the air conditioners for the old one.
Be a small price to pay. That's for this thing without paying for the rest of it.
So just wanted you guys to know, since it didn't come through as Bank of
23
North
pigeons
Dakota.
with it.
Who kept calling me from the Bank of North Dakota? Jeez, I should know. Like,
LaDonna?
huh?
Was it LaDonna?
No. It was Porter.
Oh.
A little higher up the food chain than LaDonna.
Mm-mm.
The VP.
But other than that, that should be the only.
Yeah, I saw that one too, but that didn't surprise me because I knew it was coming. So when you're looking at this payroll report, I've never looked at it all that close before. What's the gross mean?
Gross? That's before deductions.
What's in the deductions?
That's like health insurance, dental, vision, cancer insurance, all that kind of stuff.
FICA
Yep,
withholding?
yep. Yep. That's your state, that's your everything.
Can't be. Can't be. Can it?
That's the dependence deduction too, on the income tax, for claim dependence?
Yep. So this is my current, this is what I get paid. So
Okay.
then that's here. And then all of my deductions add up to this. That's there. Oh. And then that's what I take home.
See, I think you were getting confused, Troy. It doesn't show the county's contribution to
No,
that.
it doesn't. Those.
No, she
Yeah.
has it here though.
Yep.
Yeah, the county's contribution for the PERS and
You're right.
everything else.
Yep.
No, here's what
Right, because that's not a paper.
this is the one that caught my eye.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know how that could be so little.
Oh, yeah. He's got these ones too. His is
Oh.
for two.
I
Yep.
see.
Yep.
More than one line.
Yep.
I get it.
It comes out of more than one budget or whatever. So yeah, we have theirs split up.
I see. Any other questions?
Is there a reason why we have the black stripe through some of them and not the others?
Which?
They are a horrible thing to read.
That's because it's a colored spreadsheet.
Oh yeah,
And
it's
it doesn't
yeah.
go, she doesn't put it in color on
It's
the
either
picture.
blue or red, and it comes out black.
That's why it comes out shaded.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Like that name,
Bills is
huh?
presented with the addition of Verizon for $332.47.
I'll second.
Been moved by Dale, seconded by Mark to approve the bills as presented with the addition of the Verizon bill for $332.47. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? See none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Joe votes aye. Motion carried. Wayne?
See page 11, there's a contract for the seal coat,
I did see that.
signed by state's attorney, auditor, chairman, I believe. Maybe not state's attorney, but that was. Some more seal coat.
Oh, there it is.
That's just a reporting item. We already executed the contract, right? Or not? Oh. Oh, okay.
On the auditor and chairman on page 13, and I see state's attorney on page
Right.
17.
But we've already approved it, right? They don't need notaries or anything? Doesn't look like it. Sweating over here, I don't think we need that heater on. Or did you just go turn it on?
No, I didn't.
Keep an eye on you.
I think we talked about this, there's something about that Code 3 bridge, I believe we talked about it at a different meeting. I had a copy of the letter that they sent. That's that Decker Bridge, we call it. On my list, 9 and 8 miles north, Cooperstone. KLJ was gonna check it out.
Yeah, and I was gonna bring you a miscellaneous services agreement, do that, to get the report updated, sent back to DOT, but I didn't get anything back from Wade or Sean. It wouldn't be anything. Sean's moving to Rapid City, so Wade's probably gonna be our guy. I think he actually has the, if he hasn't been through the classes, he's scheduled, but he's a structural engineer.
Okay.
Registered and everything. And he sent the selection.
And the selection committee did meet, and we have KLJ as our only response to the request for proposal for engineering services. And we voted to approve him, recommend that, KLJ. The chip seal project on County Road 3 project, SC 2003, parenthetical 61, PCN 22454. And I can make a motion on approval for that.
For what?
For construction engineering.
Accepting the construction engineering
Oh,
proposal
you
from
changed,
KLJ.
you changed gears from the bridge?
Well, you were concentrating so much, I didn't know.
I was reading this alert 3. Do we need to do something?
We talked about it at a previous meeting,
Just have to have it inspected.
you know, and then the
Well, this
KLJ
is-
was gonna check it
Okay.
Yeah, so I just got
later on. And then he was talking about there was some funds maybe left or something.
That's how we did it last year, there was a little bit of funds left in that other contract, so I'd probably bring you a new small miscellaneous services agreement just to cover that bridge inspection. But, Wade and Sean didn't get back to me on how long they thought it would take.
Okay.
So we'll get that to you.
Doesn't look like he's been to court.
Me?
Yeah.
I was.
Oh. So is there a motion to approve the proposal to perform construction engineering for Griggs County for 2019? For KLJ.
So move.
Moved by Mark,
Second.
seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. Dale?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Sean? Aye. Lee votes aye. Motion carries.
Then I think we have to probably make a decision on the, we didn't get any bids for the Hannaford gravel project.
Right?
We have to figure out what we're gonna do going forward from today.
Yeah, and the reason for that is we're here, the paper comes out on Fridays, so we'd have to get the ad in the paper again if we did want to bid, did want to bid that one again. Probably, Tuesdays when they need it to get it in Friday. You have to have it in twice, and at least 15 days before you open bids. One there, and then you could open it this week, and if you had a special meeting for that purpose, you could do that, and you'd still have a week extra to play with. But, all the reimbursement requests have to be into DOT, mid-June-ish, so they can pay it out by June 30th
Right.
to get the funds expended. And the source of those funds is two different House Bill, or Senate Bill 2103 and House Bill 1156 from 1176, sorry, from the last legislative session, and those were the last two sessions, I guess. And that's oil tax revenue, not property tax. So anything you put on the road here to help minimize future impacts to your residents is a benefit to the county.
So were you thinking just trying to see if we can put additional gravel on that road or?
Well, if it was up to me, but I'm not the king, I would say reevaluate previously identified soft spots and see if there's more fabric that needs to be put down. Because it appears that the fabric that was put down before they built the elevator is still doing what we wanted it to do.
Yeah.
And then put more gravel on instead of putting that product down. That would be if it was my road, that's what I'd do with it.
That's a proven strategy anyway, is what you're talking about.
It seems reasonable, and it wouldn't require a lot of adjustment to our plan set.
And dump that PI spec.
I think
Otherwise, we're not gonna get anybody to bid it.
right, and we had to bid that PI spec in Nelson County a few weeks back, and we didn't get any bids there either. The contractors were just scared of it.
And the modified gradation also.
I don't know if they had any trouble with that, but do we wanna,
If we know they don't have any trouble with what we used to bid before, so let's quit getting fancy here, and we can go on to it later on when we have some time. We don't have any time now.
Yeah, if we don't get any bids the next
I
time,
think the
we're out of
modified
luck.
gradation was put in place so the state would allow us to put more gravel over the top of the project.
right, and they really pushed me towards the PI spec, because that's what the state took out to with that SP that they put together, and we modified that to make it a little more friendly to the contractors, but that still wasn't enough. But since we've already done the project with state funds on this road, basically the same thing, just a few years ago,
Yeah.
they wanted to see what we were doing different to make it a new solution.
More fabric,
More fabric.
More fabric,
That
more
too.
gravel.
That too. We could see, I guess, would we be okay going forward, if they'll let that go, say if we can put 4 inches on and double the length of the soft spots or whatever that we need, we'll look at it.
Cool, yeah, you go look, don't take our
No.
taxpayers' word for it. I mean, I'm not asking you to do that.
No, I
But-
want to make sure that we're covering most of them.
Right,
'Cause
but
there's a
now
lot
is the
more.
good time to look at a road because this.
They're gonna show up.
Yeah, springtime is the time you want to look for soft spots, if you want to see where they can look.
Right.
'Cause when I looked at it last.
So if you excavate these soft spots to put fabric down, can you just put the material on a side dump and put it on the outslope on those wet spots and run a 6-way through there and reshape that so it's not so steep or it's had some bank erosion?
Other counties have done some of that. It's technically you should really have the wetland delineations and all
Yeah.
that stuff done ahead of time. And if you're, make sure you have enough width right of way wise to do it. But, I guess,
But if the outslope is eroded away, you're
just repairing it.
you're not taking any more real estate, and you're certainly not decreasing the wetland area, you're just taking back what you had before.
I don't know if you wanna scrape too much of that off. You just
Well, I
get
don't
the
know.
mush down below,
Right, I guess the stuff you're digging out, I guess I would probably put it in the plans the way we did this time, was just to say that it becomes property of the contractor, and if they work something else out with the county to get rid of it within the right of way, that's,
You're gonna make them take
That's a
the
separate
3
deal.
inches out in these soft spots? We're not going to,
what's that?
are we gonna take that 3 inches of gravel that's already there out and then put our fabric over the top, or
No, we're gonna dig down a foot,
a foot?
To dig it out.
and so you have a foot of gravel over the fabric, and
Yeah,
then, so you got a foot of gravel and fabric, level with the existing road top, and then they put gravel over everything.
okay.
Right.
So you'd have like 15 inches of gravel, or 16 if we go 4 inches on the soft
Just
spots.
so long as we've got 15 inches or a foot of solid material, otherwise you just get mush and,
Right,
Well, you put the fabric on the mush.
yeah,
Right.
but I mean,
yeah.
The thing is, if you,
raise it too much,
you
you
go,
lose
you
your
have a
slope.
4-to-1 slope, but if you
Yeah.
raise it up a foot,
You don't wanna do
your
that.
slopes go up 4 feet.
No. And it don't do any good to put fabric on top of the gravel anyway, cause it's gonna turn to mush if there's mush under the gravel, so taking it out I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah, no, we had it in the plans to do that already.
Yep,
We
yep.
just think-
Okay.
Knowing that if there's more soft spots than what we had anticipated, we probably extend those now.
Maybe, I don't know, but
Yeah, I see.
that, I don't know, what do you guys think?
Right up a new.
Well, and I guess since, if we're changing the scope a little bit, it's probably not too big of a deal, but, if we're looking at separate projects, that'd be a separate
Yeah.
design effort. This is, most of the plan sheets would be the same, so,
You can get it together, so you can get it in the paper and stuff.
I don't know by Tuesday, but I guess we did have a little bit of play there, it looked like.
Yeah, you probably won't get it done by Tuesday, but.
No.
But you don't have to have the bid packet done by Tuesday just to add, right?
Right,
but you'd have to know your
quantities, yeah. So we'd have to have it, even if we put it in the paper, the 7th, get it advertised, so it's on the 10th, 17th. I guess if you have to have it twice in the paper, and you have to wait at least 15 days, so, and I'm pretty sure that applies to highway projects, that really is for public improvements, and the highway century code really excludes road projects from public improvements, so I don't know if there's a real set in stone rule on that. Do you know, Jamie, what the advertising requirements are?
I've always followed the 2-week
Those.
rule. for
Okay.
those two.
Right, so it's 2 weeks, at least, and the first one has to be at least 15 days ahead of the bid opening if you're following that other section of the century code. So you wouldn't be able, say if you advertise on the 10th and 17th, you wouldn't be able to open them on the 24th, you'd have to wait till that Tuesday, I guess, since Memorial Day's a holiday. But you could have a special meeting to do that.
So we're gonna add some mileage too then?
Can. At least we could do that.
Well, you're gonna try to identify some anyway, right?
We could do that, you mean mileage, he's talking about adding road miles.
Right,
of
do you-
gravel.
Correct.
Yeah,
And you're
do-
talking soft spots? or-
No,
No,
I'm
Yeah,
talking
if we
about
could do that-
identifying more miles of road that need gravel that haven't had it recently.
That's, I don't remember when we did that, but if we could do that going east of Hannaford, but
well, if they allow this, we can use the same justification for going east of Hannaford.
Right.
It's still servicing a elevator and it's the same truck traffic. But theoretically, we're gonna need twice as many miles of gravel if we're gonna drop the base one and the gravel specs. We should be getting it somewhere in that $7 to $8 a ply a yard. And so then we're gonna have,
you never know what that, I know a couple of those contractors, the last time they were I was trying to find the word that, wish they would have bid higher, because there was some higher bids that were way high. And then Skapaniak got it for
So,
something.
Yeah, you don't wanna see what you left
You
on
know,
the table
so-
when you get all done, but it happens all the time, I do it all the
Our
time.
local contractor said, can I rebid?
yeah,
You know when the only time you feel worse though is when you bid a little bit too high and you didn't get it.
Yeah.
right.
That's the danger of the thing.
So
Bidder's remorse.
we can calculate it up some more miles and see what they
See what
say.
you come up with, yeah.
Well, I mean, we need, otherwise we're not gonna be able to utilize those funds.
Right, well, we do, so we have to have them under contract and the reimbursement request submitted by, at least by the middle of June. So we have to be, by the end of May, we need to have stuff under contract. So I guess, do you want us to look at a few potential projects then and get it to the committee and
Yeah,
see what we can get to fly?
Yeah,
That's the simplest.
I think so.
yeah.
Okay.
But I would really like to see that gradation, that modified gradation gone and the other spec motivation.
Yeah, and they were pushing back us on us on that, so I kind of.
You gotta have like, at least say it's a class 13, whatever that is.
Well, yeah.
Well,
but-
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine, but I mean the modified gradation of the 13 and the,
The PI, I think we have to abandon.
let's abandon both of them.
The gradation modification was just to get the DOT to go along with us doing basically the same project on the same road again.
But now we're changing the criteria because, of course, their recommendation caused this, we didn't need a bid. So why are we using them as the experts on this when they're the one that caused us not to get a bid?
Well, we can bring that to them too.
Oh, I would hope so. And so now our to solve this is to add more gravel and fix more soft spots.
More fabric.
That would be just as good.
Yeah, they push against the gradation, the PI, we couldn't get a bid because of it, so.
Right.
Right, well, the gradation we didn't change on this one, just the PI, but yeah, we might end up with the same issue just because if people don't have it on hand. Then the other thing we should probably look at is the completion date. I think that's, gonna really, if they do have to produce material.
They moved that back.
Yeah. But I mean, if we bid material that we know is already stockpiled, they're not gonna have to produce anything.
Well, right,
That's the point. Let's bid material we know is already out there. It's a given, they can meet that spec and hasn't been problems with it.
Well, right, I'm sure.
That kinda takes away anybody else's chances.
well, anybody probably has class 13. though,
Yeah, everybody's
if
got
they
class
gravel
Put
it.
it up here,
No,
Griggs County?
well, maybe not.
I don't think so.
Roll the completion back to
1st September?
Well, how much is this setting us
I guess
back?
what about the paying ahead?
3 weeks?
If you're gonna
Or-
be,
to maybe mid-August.
3, so
Roll that back.
extended 3 weeks on the backside.
I guess, I think the
First
beginning of
September.
September would be fine.
Well, were we
The reason
first
we
of
were
August
pushing
Yep.
so far ahead before was because of
First of
harvest, and
September.
then also, they didn't want the base one when it's cold. But since we don't have the base one now, that's probably less restricted.
As it turned out, we didn't want the base one at all.
And I don't think that was what canned the bid, it was the PI. They just weren't, the contractors, both in Nelson, we talked to all 3 contractors that would have bid those 2 projects, and they said the same thing. I mean, Savannah will bid PI if they want it, but they don't want it. They're not looking for work that hard, it didn't sound like.
I mean, that's,
So we need a 1st of September?
last time.
I think that'd be,
Should we go back to
You get better
the 1st
pricing.
September with the bids? Do you motion for that?
yeah.
Okay, I'll make that a motion that we back the contract completion time to the 1st of September.
Second.
Moved by Mark, seconded by Sean, to change the completion date when the graveling projects rebid to September 1. Is there any discussion? No, September 1. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, so then we're gonna just have a standard class 13 spec to it.
well, I think we should try to get that through? Do we wanna go with a thicker section?
Yep.
Like 4 inches? And then
Right, but
work
it's
off
not
of-
standard 13 spec gravel rather than the modified spec.
What we
gravel.
have.
Do we need to replace any culverts or anything?
Yeah. There's one a mile in from the end of the road that's,
Project.
Wayne already told me they were gonna replace that one.
But Wayne, you were gonna do that before the project, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be done before.
Can it
this
go in
thing
on
gets-
this project? Better not. Then-
You know, at one time they said you can't just do maintenance.
Yeah,
Which is
right,
basically
yeah.
what it is, but they did allow us to do the box culverts.
But then that's a-
different.
That took a whole kinds of studies and
This
everything
just
else.
says the 36-inch culvert.
That's
Yeah,
where
we'll do the
wa-
culverts the other time.
That's where the water is being an issue now.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's damming up on one.
And where that fabric is, the water is higher on one side of the road than the other, that's where the combine went in. But I think it could have been collapsed before plugged.
So you're gonna replace
So
that one?
replace that one too.
So is the water going down still out on the end there?
Yeah. I didn't go through this morning, but still dropping. But I mean, there's a huge acres of water out there, but it was pasture and slowed for a long time. Now I think they probably dug up some of it last year maybe.
Okay.
Dry.
There's been a number of guys that want something done with it.
I drove all around the whole section and I couldn't see anywhere where the water was running into there.
Have we passed that motion yet?
There's a big,
No, we didn't.
Oh,
No, there's still discussion.
Is there any more discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
And then if our estimate doesn't end up using up all the money on that, we should look for other options as far as places to put it.
Yeah, we need to,
try to use up all
I
that.
think if you use $8 a yard put in place, that should give us an estimate of how many miles we'll
Ton.
need.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll go below 10 for estimating. I mean, we've gotten prices as low as 8 before, but that's really pushing.
But, you know, can't we just lob miles off if it comes in over, can't we just shorten it up?
Well, I mean, I guess, like for this project, like we can, like I said, since we didn't get a bid on it the way it was, and if the length and stuff isn't changing, that stuff, I think that we can just, I'll just do that. We won't have a separate design contract for that.
Okay.
I'll include that, because part of our changing that, including that PI spec, even though we're kind of, I figured it was the best answer, it didn't work, get us a bid, so I don't think that we should.
Right. It's just hard for me to believe that the state can't see the forest through the trees here. When you increase the risk to the contractors,
Yeah.
the taxpayers lose. It increases the cost of the project so much that
Yeah.
the taxpayers get stung, or you don't get anybody to bid on. Well, those are both bad answers.
Well, and so is calling the contractors and pleading with them to bid the project. You just show weakness, what are you gonna do? You're gonna drive the price up. That's, an anxious contractor is what is better for the,
And then you get less miles, same money.
I don't know. I
as easy access as possible and still get a satisfactory job is what we wanna put forward. Because then it's going to increase the bidding pool, which is gonna be lower prices.
Yep.
well, anyway, anything else, Wayne?
I guess if there's other sites we're gonna need to look at, though, we'd probably be bringing a request for a design contract for other sites.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
And if they're simple like those, though, the cost will be quite a bit less.
Yep.
I have nothing more.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thanks.
Happy traveling.
Replace that culvert over my day.
I have one thing for the road department, I guess. I've been calling and checking on a lot of stuff. Lennis doesn't have an abstract, the city doesn't have an abstract. I've tried to call into the abstractor to get a price of what it would cost to create an abstract or insurance or whatever we're gonna have to do. So I'm waiting on that from them.
Oh, on that property up there.
Yep.
Can't we just get a title insurance truck?
Yeah, I told Jamie to see which
Yeah,
one
and
is
that's what I'm
cheaper.
waiting on.
Can you do a title opinion?
Can I? I haven't done one since I was in law
Then
school.
you should call Tal Meljets and have him do one on both of them.
We gotta get an abstract out first if we're gonna do that.
Well, you can go to the courthouse. Come to the courthouse.
Let me call him and see what he would do. I talked to Travis Peterson about it too.
Did you?
Is that through
For
Denison
a full
County
year,
contract or
we
somebody else?
can
Yeah,
issue it
that's
for
the
6
county.
months and half that. Because
Yeah, that's
what we did
reasonable.
before.
Well, getting stuff like that done.
I thought it was Eddie County.
Right.
Or,
Yep.
Okay.
Well, it's in
New Rockford.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the only
the
place
abstract.
that's-
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the minimum state
Minimum,
requires.
yeah.
And then we said, okay, we're gonna prorate it to 6 months.
That's
It's running through, water's running through. I think it still froze, on both sides of it. So,
The water moving now, though, it should be thought out by now.
no. Well, the culvert's thought out, but not the road bed itself.
to replace them.
That's
Oh,
why
to
it's-
replace it.
Yeah, you might get
Yeah.
a bunch of chunks of ice, and it's hard to get
Yeah,
it
we tried
recovered.
that.
It's not thought out very far yet.
I stuck a wire down, it went about that far, 9 inches, just like that.
Like
and then
hitting
I
a
hit
rock,
hard.
yeah.
Combines will go down about 18 inches. I don't know how I would know that.
Should
but-
try it in December, this day a little while.
I'd worry when they go down farther.
Yeah, no, it's been kind of nice.
Doing beans, wheat, or corn?
Beans.
All right, that's
Okay.
all I've got.
Thank you.
Okay, good, thanks.
You guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Time clocks, there's no new info.
just the info that I got was I called Travis on it and he's still waiting for the quote back from them, so
Okay.
just wanted to get you guys
Yeah, just-
updated.
We just keep putting it on the agenda until we get new.
Until you finally get sick of it.
Yeah.
Give up.
Mill levy authorization, John asked us this to be added to the agenda. I think last or the session before, the legislature made all of these major mill levy increases have a 10-year sunset. So once they pass, they aren't forever in effect. And the two that we have to deal with at the county level or the road department, there's 2 5-mil adders that the people have voted on. And we've been doing that. The one that has not been, because they probably didn't realize it had changed, was the library. So the library is planning on putting their mill levy on the 2020 ballot. So-
Would the museum have to put their $500,000 on also and those things?
No, that can be done with, the way it looks, that was done with the
That was done by the commission. I think,
commission, and so was the senior citizens, I believe, that was a commission authorized one.
But the ones that are just voted on by the citizens in an actual election are the ones that have a sunset clause on them.
And see, the library is kind of a hybrid, it's not its own taxing authority, but once the money goes to the library, it's no longer
Yeah.
the county, so they're kind of a hybrid. So if it's under the control of the commission, you can do it in a special assessment, but the library is different.
So. Beer and liquor license, I don't know what to do with this thing.
Sorry. John just brought it to my attention, and you guys had switched it into to decrease the fees on this.
Yep.
They only needed it for 6 months. I gave it to them for the year because that was the minimum that we could do, but they just want it for the 6 months. So we'll just half this, and I'll get it to them till October 26th of 2019.
So, I don't think this is registered with the Secretary of State?
It does, it's after the fact. We issue the liquor license, then they go,
They've got the name approved and everything.
I don't think so. I don't think the Secretary of State would find much humor in that name.
They did, because she said that she was very surprised. She said she was very surprised that it got approved.
Well,
I-
I can,
I just searched the website and I can't find them.
well, we're not the vocabulary police.
I don't want to be.
I don't either.
But I don't want to give a liquor license to a non-entity either.
Well, that's their, it's not our job to
Not our
search it.
fault.
No.
Seen some license plates that are questionable too, so.
No, it would be them. If they did fraudulently, it would be in their.
Okay.
And we get a list of people that we can't give liquor license to. We have
Am I
a.
on it?
I think it's pretty catchy.
I don't care.
So, but they need our liquor license so that they can apply for the state liquor license.
Yep.
And if there is a problem with the name of the state, we'll let them do it.
Oh, I'm not going to do it. I just didn't know
Change it to Tupac's sake.
if. Leave it to Wendy.
I make a motion, we approve the liquor license at prorated for 6 months.
Two to the second
Yeah. You know, here
Been moved by John to-
misspeaks about the name here.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion?
October when?
Seeing none, we'll proceed to
October
vote.
26th.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
So the bar used to be called the town pump.
I know. But I think it was a DBA though. I don't think it was, that wasn't their incorporated name. I'm sure the liquor license was probably, well, it might have been the town pump.
She might have been.
She might have.
I'm gonna vote for you.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'd run.
26th?
Yep, October 26th.
And then they paid it, or are you gonna refund them?
They paid already, but we haven't cashed the check, so then I'll just talk to her and see if
Okay.
how she wants to do that.
Old courthouse, new courthouse?
I don't think we've heard anything more from that.
Okay.
We need to email him again.
And
Send it in red, put IRS on the top, then he'll answer.
No.
important tax documents. and
Yes,
files.
yeah, then we'll open it up.
You'll think it's a 1099.
Yeah.
Future business.
We still haven't heard from the post office, so Maddie's gonna touch base with them on Monday,
That's unbelievable.
see what more that we need to do.
About Harold.
Harold has come and done the audit. We're just waiting for it to come back. He got some more, he didn't have all the information from the fair board that he was needing, so he actually stopped in my office this morning, picked that stuff up, and we should have the audit here soon.
Back to the old courthouse, new courthouse stuff.
Yeah, that's where we're at. Oh, no, yeah. Okay.
What's our plan moving ahead? How do we form a plan on moving ahead?
With the new one or the old one?
The old one.
Well, it feels to me like it's kind of dependent on what NDSU tells us, isn't it?
Well,
For step one.
but it's, holy smokes, is it frustrating.
Because what
You've only been here 6 months.
Yeah, we've been here 6 years.
Yeah,
You should try to get the land valuation formula.
yeah.
That's it. You could do it too.
That's another project.
The citizens of the county would like us to raise it based on the last ballot initiative or whatever you want to call it. So I think that should be our long-term plan. You know, how we get there from here to there, I don't know, Mark. It depends on,
I mean, we've talked about it at our local historical meeting and that sort of stuff.
right,
And there's some things that we certainly want out of the building and that sort of thing. And
right. it's really easy to sit in Bismarck and say, you guys should find some alternative uses for that building. Because they don't understand that there's empty buildings sitting all over the county.
Absolutely.
And this one needs $1 million or $2 worth of work to it. And there is no money to do that.
Mhm.
Because we don't have a tree here that will grow that. No Benji tree.
We did get a call
We
at
send
the
our
museum.
we send our check to the tree.
I think you're probably being kind though, that they don't understand. I think they understand, they don't care.
Maybe.
Because common sense would say that
Well-
you should take the word of the people that are closer to the problem, and they don't. It's just the opposite.
So,
They
just
tell us
arrogance.
that you do what we say or else. So,
So then the question would be, if you just did it, if you did what you thought was the right thing to do, which I'm inclined to do in most cases, maybe not in this case because it's not my money,
yeah.
you would do it what you thought was right. And then if in fact the Historical Society got the powers that be lined up against this little county and asked for the grant money back from the EOC, then you would have a battle on your hands. Then I don't know how you'd rectify it at that point.
I think
But
it's
I
a-
don't know if you're ever gonna get it rectified out in front, and get
You're not.
permission.
You're never gonna get a bureaucrat with any spine that's gonna say, go ahead and go against what the regulation is. They'll study it to death, and they know by studying it, it will keep it from happening, and that's the point anyway.
Can it be started? We can remove the new part off the west side, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but the demolition by neglect is still the catcher. It doesn't, so whatever's left has to basically stay as it was when we abandoned it.
because I think it's a little of both that they don't understand, and that, because we got a call at the museum that they were gonna donate $1,000 or $1,500 to help preserve it. That, what are you gonna do, put doorknobs in?
Well, I mean, there's 37% of the population that believe
You could board up the pigeonholes.
it should be saved,
Yeah.
and rightly so. So of course, there's people on both sides of this thing. The disgusting part of it is that it should be that decision of the citizens of Griggs County and not some bureaucracy that has no stake in the game.
So we'll just keep plugging at it for now,
I don't know what else we can do, Mark.
okay?
I mean, the only other thing is to mount a huge, is to go ahead and get this done, present it, and then we've done what you wanted.
Yeah.
And if they say, no, we want this and this and this, well, so eventually we're going to have to go to a higher political entity,
Yeah.
animal, and see if they will make the choice.
Have a little push. Yeah,
In the meantime,
here we are.
and
We
have-
all know
and have been.
at some point, it's cheaper to do what needs to be done and pay the grant money back if we have to.
It'll get there.
Because that $1 million is gonna get eaten up in that building if we start having to do much maintenance to it.
It'll get there.
We don't have the money to do the maintenance. The eyesore stands there, and then eventually someone comes up and says,
Then it gets to be a risk too. I mean,
Sure.
somewhere along the line, it's gonna be a hazard.
A chunk of that falls on the new building.
but guess what? The one in Jamestown's still standing.
They spent a gazillion dollars on it though.
Same thing, though. Same thing.
It's on the historical.
Yep.
But they can afford not to cover everything.
Well, they couldn't afford it either, they just did it.
Didn't the state come and throw a bunch of money at that too, to help them get that done?
I don't know, Mark. But it was
I was
many,
kinda
many
thinking
years.
that.
It was
Yeah, it
in
took
there.
them years to get to that.
And it's a lot bigger population.
Oh,
base
yes.
to
Absolutely.
get stuff done.
Right. Well, I noticed in the,
That's a marble floor thing and everything, so it's not the same type of building.
in 1993, the library application, or their annual report, the population of Griggs County was over 3,000. It was like 3,303 or something like that. So we've been losing 1% of our population for the last 60, 70 years.
Oh, we got 33 years left. Nobody will be.
No, just 12.
Last night my wife said, "Did you hear that Joe Biden asked AOC if he could blow in her ear?" I said, "No, I didn't hear that." She said, "Absolutely. I'm about ready for a refill anyway."
The public record, let it be noted, I didn't laugh.
I got it in the minutes.
Motion to adjourn.
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is passed. Meeting adjourned at 3:35. You think we should put that in the recording?
No, I don't mind.